What the hell's going on, people? This is Periodic, and you see the title of the video. We are jumping back into Dragonball Z Dokkan Battle. We're jumping back during Global 6-year anniversary, but honestly, this piece of news doesn't really have much to do with the 6-year anniversary or anything currently going on in-game for Dokkan Battle. This has to do with the current Dragonstone price for any country using the euro.
I shut it down wherever power is stored. Being real is in the past, watch the cowards get on. It ain't kill me, so it's making me stronger. And these bite-sized rappers now sensing my home.
So let's go over this interesting piece of news that was just announced by Apple. And this happens once in a blue. This is really high-level stuff. We're talking about Apple as a company is pretty much the size of a small country in terms of how much money they make, in terms of how much money they spend, how much cash they have on hand, operating costs, etc., etc. And so they deal with all countries in the world. Like every single country you can think of. I'm trying to think of one country that they don't deal with, and it's like, what, North Korea, maybe Iran, but even then I'd assume there's iPhones in Iran. There's very little influence that they don't have with pretty much every single country in the world. And with that, you have to cut deals, and you have to make negotiations, and you have to sign contracts and agreements with every single country. Now, what makes the UK particularly interesting, and what makes the European nation or the European Union very interesting is that they've recently signed new deals because of Brexit. So Apple in the past was treating the UK and the EU as one big nation, right? Because that was the whole idea of it. You treat it, I believe it was all, 28 nations that were all in one union. For any of you Europeans, if I got that number wrong, I apologize. I'm a dumb American. South Africa's also on that list. Not in the EU, but they're also included in this list. So what looks like happened is, in this particular instance, because they pretty much created a new deal with the UK and the EU for the App Store, prices have changed. And so let's go over this, and then we'll talk about a little bit of speculation. So upcoming tax and price changes for apps and in-app purchases. So this has a lot to do with the taxes that the countries that work with Apple, what they're going to be paying and what they're going to be expecting. So this is from today, or at least yesterday when you're watching this. When taxes or foreign exchange rates change, we sometimes need to update prices on the App Store in certain regions and or adjust your proceeds. So this is, by the way, this news and update, let me just make this clear. These are for app developers. This is not for the normal public. So if you're just like a normal person that downloads apps and stuff like that, you would never come across this. This piece of information is for if you are developing an application and you have to pay the country the taxes, you got to pay Apple their cut, etc., etc. So it's saying, when taxes or foreign exchange rates change, we sometimes need to update prices on the App Store in certain regions and or adjust your proceeds. In the next few days, prices of apps and in-app purchases, so both the cost of an app and the cost of in-app purchases, because obviously Dokkan is the second, in-app purchases, excluding auto-renewable subscriptions. That is very important. Auto-renewable subscription. That does not include Spotify. That does not include Pandora or any other application that automatically renews itself. You have to go out and cancel it. Some people are thinking, oh, excludes auto-renewable subscriptions. That means the $10 stone pack that you get every single month that, it runs on 30 days, gives you 3 Dragon Stones a day. That's going to be excluded. No, because you have to manually renew that subscription. That's not something that automatically renews itself. It's a manual subscription. So you do have to go ahead and say, hey, I want another 30 days. Hey, I want another 30 days. I want another 30 days. If you leave it alone, it will just expire. So prices of apps and in-app purchases on the App Store will decrease in South Africa, United Kingdom, which would be England and Northern Ireland, I believe. And all territories that use the euro currency. So that's a lot, right? Now, unfortunately, for the next two countries, I'm sorry, guys, prices will increase in the country of Georgia, and I'm going to butcher this, Tajikistan. It's Tajikistan? Tajikistan? I don't know. If anybody is from that country, please pronounce it, write it out, how that country's name is pronounced, because that's very difficult for me. The increases also consider the following tax changes. And Exhibit B of the Paid Applications Agreement has been updated to indicate that Apple collects and remits applicable taxes. Couldn't get that out for a second. In these locations. So Georgia's new value added tax of 18%. And the second country, new added tax of 18% that applies to developers based outside of the country. So that's very fascinating. Your proceeds will be adjusted accordingly and will be calculated based on the tax-exclusive price. In addition, your proceeds on the App Store in Italy will be increased to reflect a change to the digital services tax effective rate. Once these changes go into effect, the pricing and availability section of My Apps will be updated. You can change the price of your apps and in-app purchases, including auto-renewable subscription, at any time in App Store Connect. If you offer subscriptions, you can choose to preserve prices for existing subscribers. So a lot of information to kind of digest. Now let's take a look at the updated price tier charts because this is interesting as well. Can I make this bigger? Yes, I can. It's up here. So this is the UK here. And let me just make this kind of as big as I can here. So this is their customer price and then the tier that it's on. So I'm guessing this is the taxable tier. And obviously, if it's free, you can't be taxed, right? If the item is less than 90 cents, 89 cents, it's on tier 1. If it's under $1.80, it's on tier 2. Under $1.50, tier 3. Under $3.50, tier 4. Now, keep in mind that Dokkan Battle goes all the way up to about here, right? Under $45. That's kind of like their highest available stone pack, which is usually and I think in the US it's $43.99. If I remember correctly, with no discounts, $43.99. Could be $44.99, I don't remember. But anyway, either way, it's under tier 50. So, the tax is a lesser amount. And that makes sense, right? They don't really offer anything. I don't think they've ever offered. Have they ever offered a $50 one? I feel like they have. No? Didn't they do that one time? Where it was like 150 Dragon Stones or something like that during the New Year's. And so, as you can see here, we have all of the prices in pound, right? Or is that even how you say it? I don't know. British people, please correct me how you say it. But in pounds, this is essentially all the prices. So you have the one single Dragon Stone is £1. Then you have the package that will be like 3 Dragon Stones for £1 here. And then you have the 8-pound one and the 32-pound one and the 44-pound one. So most likely the price that they're going to set it to, and I say most likely, I really mean it's like a 50-50 shot that they actually change the price, because one of two things can happen. Let's just say they are now saving 13% on taxes. Not saying that's the number. I'm just saying, let's just say they're saving 13%. They could potentially say, hey, we can drop the price down by 10%, right? and that would put them at 89. And by putting at 89, they're staying on that one tier, right? Or they could put it at 88 and go below. They could go below that one tier, or possibly drop it by 20%, drop it to 79, and then they definitely be in that 0 tier, right? So that may be what they're doing, what they're planning on doing with this pack, and then just barely changing the others just a little bit, just a hint, right? So like for example, this tier right here, $43.99. Maybe they drop it down to this, so it just £1 is what they change it. That may be what they do. If enough savings from these taxes are calculated and they say, okay, we're still going to make profit, we're still going to make more, but we can lower the price down just a little bit. Now that's 50-50. The other 50-50, the other half, is that they just don't change prices at all and they just keep all of the money. And let's be honest, this is an Apple, so I might be leaning towards that. You'll either see like maybe one off and it's 98 instead of 99, or even then just maybe nothing at all and it just stays exactly the same. And if they save 4% on taxes, they keep that 4% as revenue, and they just hold on to it, as profit, as money that they no longer have to pay. So it goes into operating costs, it goes into employees, aka it goes into the executive board's pockets. So that may be what occurs. Like I said, if we do see a decrease in the United Kingdom, in South Africa, in the European nation, in the European Union, it will be minimal. It's not going to be huge. I think I said 20%. I can see at most maybe 10%. Honestly, I can see at most 10%, which even then, that's not bad, because if you're paying £44 for a non-sale 91 Dragonstone pack, saving £4 will be spectacular. Right, you'll be so happy with that. I think that might even be too high, but we'll have to wait and see. This will probably be edited, and because all these companies have to take a look at their numbers, right, and they have to see what the change can be and what the change will be. So we're not going to see this right away. We'll probably see this throughout the next few days, next few weeks. Maybe even next few months, who knows. But there you go. Upcoming tax and price changes for the app stores in South Africa, United Kingdom, and the European Union. I would say don't count on a price decrease for Dragonstones. If it happens, then be very happy. The second thing that's going to make you very happy is subscribing to this channel, joining the club, following the boys. You already know the deal. Go ahead and quickly click that blue join button, become a boomer champion like Joe V, or you can click that thanks button to have your comment highlighted down below. There's always the free to play route. You can gently rub that sub button, gingerly ring that bell button, lovingly kiss the like button. As always, this is Periodic. See y'all in the next video.